world contemplated or rather implemented right to vote for women. Periyar organized a self-respect conference for women and invited widows and commercial sex workers and neglected women folk in 1929. His writings on the caste system vastly contributed to the discourse on social justice and equality. A strong advocate of self-respect marriages, Periyar adopted the principles and significance of self-respect marriages on his works. Our DMK government, under the leadership of Periyar Anna, gave legal recognition to the self-respect marriages in 1967. Periyar said, "Yaar solli irundhalum, engu padithirundhalum, adai naane sonnalum, unadu buddhikkum podu arivikkum porundada edayum nambade, edayum pagutthariya vendum, kelvi kekka vendum endrudhan andha Periyar engalukku sonnadu." I am proud to state here that the DMK continues to do that. Irrespective of the party being in or out of power, the DMK will continue to champion the causes for which Periyar stood. Words would not be enough to highlight the literary expertise of Periyar Anna, DMK's founder and former chief minister. In fact, he earned his title, Periyar, which means great scholar in English, for his sheer intelligence and oratory. His plays and stories mainly showcase the social injustice that existed in the society. Anna wrote about the social justice, finance, state autonomy, linguistic rights, and many more. Periyar Anna, and Dr. Kalaignar also took upon themselves to critique ancient literary works and thus further spread the idea of rationalism. They opened doors for the common man to the rich literature in Tamil. Before the emergence of the Dravidian movement, people believed in Bhakti literature was the only significant aspect of the literary world. However, Dravidian movement shed light on the Tirukkural and Sangam literature, which were written to the common man. Dr. Kalaignar, who wrote notes for Tirukkural, I would like to point out this one. Deivam Thodal, Kolunan Thozhezhuval, Peyyana Peyyum Malai is the Kural. The translation of this Kural is, even rains fall at the command of the wife, who upon rising worships not the god, but her husband. But Kalaignar notes to this particular Kural will help you understand the exemplary vision of the Dravidian movement. Kanavan Vakinai, Kadaval Vakinai Vida, Meladana Kardi, Avaniye Toldu Manavi, Payana Anaitudan, Anji Nadaginda, Payginda Maraye Pola, Tane Arimiaki, Nikolova. A woman who worships her husband more than a god considers her as a slave, just like the rain which pours as soon as it is ordered to. Tirukkural presents opportunities for several interpretations. The interpretation of Kalaignar exemplifies the principle of the Dravidian movement. And I am extremely proud to stand here representing the progressive, forward-thinking movement. In line with his mentors of the Dravidian movement, my father and the current chief minister has written a book titled Ungalil Oruvan. It was later translated as One Among You. எப்படி திராவிட இயக்க தலைவர்கள் இலக்கியத்திற்கும் வாசிப்பிற்கும் முக்கியம் தந்தார்களோ அதே போலதான் நம்முடைய மாண்புமிகு தமிழ்நாடு முதலமைச்சர் அவர்களும் தொடர்ந்து செயல்பட்டு வருகிறார்கள். அண்ணா நூற்றாண்டை முன்னிட்டு முத்தமிழ் டாக்டர் கலைஞர் அவர்கள் 2009 ஆண்டு 2009 அண்ணா நூற்றாண்டு நூலகத்தை அண்ணா சென்டினரி லைப்ரரி சென்னையில் துவங்கினார்கள். இன்றைக்கு கலைஞருடைய நூற்றாண்டை முன்னிட்டு 250 கோடி ரூபாய் மதிப்பீட்டில் கலைஞர் நூற்றாண்டு நூலகம், கலைஞர் சென்டினரி லைப்ரரி மதுரையில் நம்முடைய முதலமைச்சர் அவர்கள் திறந்து வைத்தார்கள். I am not only the Minister of Tamil Nadu, also the Secretary of the Youth Wing of திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகம். கலைஞர் நூற்றாண்டை முன்னிட்டு திமுக இளைஞர் அணிக்கு எங்களுடைய தலைவர் ஒவ்வொரு அணிக்கும் ஒரு பொறுப்பு கொடுத்திருந்தாங்க. அது இளைஞர் அணிக்கு கொடுத்த பொறுப்பு தமிழ்நாட்டில் இருக்கக்கூடிய அனைத்து சட்டமன்ற தொகுதியிலும் 234 தொகுதியிலும் கலைஞருடைய பெயர்ல ஒரு லைப்ரரி படிப்பகம் திறக்க வேண்டும் என்று எங்களுக்கு அறிவுறுத்திருக்கிறார்கள். ஏற்கனவே 16 லைப்ரரி படிப்பகத்தை கலைஞர் நூலகத்தை நாங்கள் திறந்து வைத்திருக்கின்றோம். Morosoli, the mouth organ of DMK, was started by Dr. Kalaignar as a handwritten weekly magazine. Dr. Kalaignar used to call Morosoli as his elder child. It is currently a daily newspaper which has crossed 75 years. Dr. Kalaignar wrote thousands of letters for years to his brethren under the title Udanparappe till his demise. During the days of emergency, Morosoli stood in the front row to oppose it. Our Chief Minister has also been writing political letters on Morosoli. On behalf of DMK Youth Wing, we are bringing a page daily in Morosoli called Morosoli Pasarai Pakkam since Jan. The foremost objective of this special page is to educate today's youth about the history and ideology of the Dravidian movement. It would be incomplete if I conclude without at least a mention of women writers for the Dravidian movement. Annai Mani Ammayar, Tiruchi Neelavadi, Penong Janaki Ammal, Dr. Dharmambal, Moovalur Ramamritam Ammayar, Maragada Valliyar, and Malar Muguttammayar were the women of Dravidian movement who wrote or extensively spoke self-respect principles and women. Maragada Valliyar wrote exclusively about the sufferings of the Adi Dravadas. We believe that the literature plays an important role in shaping the idea of a state, and Tamil Nadu will remain a progressive state as long as we have the words of our leaders to guide us forward. The other idea that DMK has stood for consistently is federalism. We have been advocating for state rights from the time of DMK's inception in 1949. We believe that the one-size-fits-all approach will not work for a vast and a diverse country like our India. The union government should frame a broader policy framework and provide sufficient space for the states to design and implement schemes that are suitable to the needs of the people of a particular state. This approach will allow the states to adapt and innovate. This approach will allow for cross-learning. States will learn from each other on the best practices. The number of people who go to college in Tamil Nadu, the gross enrollment ratio, GER, is about 50%. This is better than the USA, where the GER is around 41% and on par with Scandinavian countries. It is a phenomenal achievement, an achievement that stands testimony to the Dravidian model of governance. I have just given you a couple of examples. Likewise, some states would have performed well on a particular parameter. States could learn from each other and modify it appropriately. Therefore, we advocate a system where the union government acts as an enabler and supports the state to design and implement schemes that are relevant to their context. This can be the approach for truly cooperative federalism. Unfortunately, the last few years, the union government has not followed this approach. Rather, they have been using all the possible means to centralize power and dictate terms to the states. The union government is using independent investigative agencies to hunt its political opponents across the country. The union government is sending governors to the non-BJP ruled states to ruin their administration. The functioning of Tamil Nadu governor is a case in point. I think you're also having the same problem in Kerala. Most recently, the union government has taken another outrageously regressive step to hamper developing the medical infrastructure of Tamil Nadu. A recent example of this is the guidelines issued by the National Medical Council. The guideline says that the medical colleges shall follow the ratio of 100 MBBS seats for every 10 lakh population. This will affect states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Andhra Pradesh. The union government has stopped the move temporarily after our Honorable Chief Ministers stressed the same. Today our gathering isn't just about literary expertise. It's about honoring the rich linguistic heritage that defines our identities, our struggles and our aspirations. Our languages aren't just mediums of communication. They represent the ethos of our civilization, resonating with the soul of our ancestors, echoing their triumphs and carrying the torch of their struggles. It is about ensuring that every individual, regardless of the language they speak, has the right to express, learn and preserve his or her cultural legacy. State autonomy, another cornerstone for our discourse, stands tall as an emblem of self-determination and governance. Empowerment means it's about providing every region with the resources, opportunities and autonomy necessary for holistic development. It's about acknowledging that a nation's strength lies in the equitable growth of all its constituent parts. Unity in diversity is our greatest strength. Our languages, cultures and traditions aren't barriers. They are bridges that connect us, surpassing boundaries and uniting us in a shared celebration of humanity. Together, let us script a narrative where every language flourishes, every culture thrives, and every individual finds pride in their own heritage. நம் நாட்டினுடைய மாநில மொழிகளை பாதுகாக்க, இலக்கிய வளத்தை பாதுகாக்க, மாநில உரிமை, கல்வி உரிமை காக்க தமிழ்நாடு மற்றும் கேரள மக்கள் இணைந்து போராடுவோம், பாடுபடுவோம். In the entire India, the BJP faced a complete defeat in Tamil Nadu and Kerala in the 2019 parliament election. They could not even make a single seat in these two states. It is a proof to show how our people are progressive and against these divisive factors. 2024 Lok Sabha elections are nearing. We should repeat the bitter treatment to the fascists again. It is our responsibility to dethrone the fascist BJP to save our Indian Union and our states. Nandri, Vanakkam.